The New Orleans Archdiocese was ordered to stop paying retirement benefits to priests credibly accused of molesting children.
But secret records show the church is finding ways around that. Here's WWL investigator David Hammer with the latest in his Losing Faith investigation.
For over 30 years, WWL Louisiana has tried to hold a serial child molester accountable.
You don't belong behind that collar, that's for sure.
In 1992, WWL's Bill Elder was there as Kathy Austin tried to confront her tormentor, Catholic priest Gerard Howell.
You're too chicken to come out here, aren't you?
Kathy, her sister Darlene, and 24 others alleged Howell molested them as children when they were at the Catholic Center for the Hearing Impaired that Howell started in 1967. A therapist who treated the victims told WWL the Archdiocese refused to remove Howell from ministry.
In this particular case, the church knows, and they're not doing anything about it.
Secret church records just uncovered by our partners at the Guardian showed just how little the church did to stop Howell back then and how he continues to get help from church leaders even now. In 2020, Howell wrote this letter acknowledging that the late Archbishop Philip Hannon reported him to the district attorney for possible criminal charges. That was in 1980, 12 years before Bill Elder's expose. District Attorney Harry Connick Sr., a devout Catholic, never filed charges. Howell also wrote that the Archbishop sent him for psychiatric treatment in 1980, only to let him return to ministry in churches across New Orleans. Not until a year after Elder's 1992 report did then Archbishop Francis Schulte order Howell to quit and get a job. But Howell simply appealed to the Vatican, which ordered Schulte to let Howell continue as a priest with full financial benefits. We brought these findings to Kathy Austin, the same woman who confronted Howell on WWL 32 years ago, and she is still outraged.
You know, I'm speechless because I just don't understand how this can happen.
Howell also wrote in that 2020 letter that current Archbishop Gregory Aymond sent him back to a treatment center in 2010. We got psychologist Monica Applewhite's report to Aymond. She diagnosed Howell with pedophilia and wrote, quote, "Jerry will always be high risk due to the number of incidents of abuse he perpetrated against young children." But the New Orleans Archdiocese still kept paying Howell a $650 stipend every month for the next 10 years, plus his full rent, insurance, and utilities at this senior living center in Austin, Texas.
There's no punishment here. There's no punishment.
In May 2020, just weeks after the Archdiocese filed for bankruptcy, a federal judge ordered the church to stop paying Howell's benefits and those of other retired priests accused of child molestation. But now we've learned Howell even found his way around that court order, and he got some help doing it from Archbishop Aymond. Aymond sent his own letter to the Vatican ambassador, and the Guardian got a copy. In it, Aymond called the judge's order to stop paying Howell, quote, unjust and painful.
It just makes me so angry to think that how do you think that it is just that you continue to pay?
Aymond also wrote that one of his top aides was helping Howell contact the Men of Melchizedek, a nonprofit that helps accused priests, even those behind bars.
Do you believe that he should be intervening in this way at all?
Not at all. I think that is so far out of the scope of his responsibilities. I do not believe that that is his job.
We looked into Men of Melchizedek. Its founder and president, Joe Marr, had a previous nonprofit shut down in Michigan for misusing donations and misleading donors. The Associated Press reported in 2019 that Marr agreed in a settlement with the Michigan Attorney General to never run another nonprofit in Michigan. But now Marr runs Men of Melchizedek, and the group's website doesn't even try to hide it. It's still based in Michigan. Here's a note posted on that website thanking Marr and Men of Melchizedek for paying a stipend for this anonymous priest. It's signed Jerry in what appears to be the same shaky hand that signed Gerard Howell on his letter to the Vatican ambassador.
And I saw the thank you note and I saw the handwriting. I was like, that looks oddly familiar.
Aymond often says he wants to walk with survivors of child sexual abuse, but in the case of Gerry Howell, Aymond wrote, quote, "We fervently pray that Father Howell's pursuit of those outside resources is successful. My heart goes out to him."
If he's fervently praying for an abuser, right, and he's just one of many, what about those children? Have you reached out to all those kids? No. No. And so you're not walking with survivors.
Aymond sent us a statement saying he prays daily for the survivors of abuse. But he also said, quote, "This does not preclude me or anyone else from praying for those who have committed sins, even one as heinous as sexual abuse of a child, or from offering charity to sinners. It is my deepest desire that this message of love and forgiveness help all to find grace and hope for survivors and their families." David Hammer, WWL, Louisiana.
Aymond also said he warned Texas law enforcement and church officials about Howell. We asked Father Howell and the Men of Melchizedek for comment, but did not hear back. But after we reached out, the Men of Melchizedek cut the Gerry signature off that letter that David showed you from the thank you note on its website.